12s, Zach Charbonnet. Very controversial pick, but as you can see, he gets up and down the field very quickly. North-south type guy, but he has tons of burst and cuts in and out of breaks. Kind of reminds me of Eddie George, mixed with a little bit of Gale Sayers. Do your research. And he's got, of course, a little bit of tenacity to him like Lynch. Some would say he runs a little bit too upright. I beg to differ. He really protects the rock really well. He's got great hands out of the backfield, as you can see. And this is the type of back we haven't had for some time, since Carson at least. But I do think he's more dynamic than Carson, obviously. This is a guy that had over 1,400 yards in the Pac-12, which I watch frequently. I've seen this guy play a lot, and he's very, very good. Now, the thing I love the most about Chardonnay is he doesn't, or Chardonnay, ooh, I need some wine right now. Charbonnet is he doesn't waste a lot of space or energy in his running style. He's consistently just looking to get yardage. He will lower the shoulder, lower the boom on safeties, and you can see he can just cut people like that too. So he's got a lot more kind of elusive speed. He's not a really fast guy in a 40 sense, but getting up to speed quickly, as you can see, he does, and he's really hard to tackle in the open field. That's what I love about him. You know, don't expect him to break a lot of home runs like Ken, but he'll get the sticks moving when we need them on third down, and I think he's beyond a third down back. I think he's much more than that. He's contingency if we lose Ken Walker to an injury, heaven forbid, or something like that. We've got a player here that can handle all of the downs and can do everything on the football field. This guy was an every down back for UCLA. He could do so at the next level, of course. And not only was he just like the right back on the board for Seattle, being he was the best back behind Bijan Robinson, I do think that he could be a better NFL player than Jahmyr Gibbs. I think he's perfect for the Seattle Seahawks. And the NFL is going to compare this guy to James Conner, Matt Forte, Arian Foster. Why? Because he's light-skinned? Team light-skinned. I'm light-skinned, brother. Anyways, that's funny as hell. But Zach Charbonnet is Zach Charbonnet. That's all I can really say about it. He is his own player. He is a unique player. There's no frills, no gimmicks, no real flash to his game. But that's something that we could really use right now. You know, we could use a guy that can just make a decisive cut, get a short yardage, or he can run through you, he can run around you, he can run over you, he can catch routes out of the backfield, and I believe he's an underrated receiver in the open field as well. Another dynamic weapon. Seattle has added what I believe now and completed the best running back room in the NFL when we're talking about 4 players deep, if not 3 players deep, pairing that with 2 bookend tackles that are spectacular young players. When you start pairing all of these elements, it's like some sort of freak science experiment, a much improved interior offensive line with Oluwatimi, Evan Brown, and of course Bradford. We're going to really be able to take the reins of our offense right now, and Shane Waldron's offense will come to light. And I will not even talk about the receivers because I get too excited talking about the receiver trio, as we all do. We've all thought about the processes in our head. I think that those 3 receivers together are going to do some David Copperfield type shit and just vanish on the open field and get open. But the running back room is just absolutely exceptional. Zach Charbonnet is just a tank of a player, a tank of a man, a dedicated guy, had a great combine. He's a guy that's going to go into the film room. He's going to study. He's going to pair well with Ken. He's going to be humble. He's going to do everything the team asks for him on special teams, as well as when he gets his opportunities to earn snaps. Look for him to be a real star of the preseason and really turn heads. I think it's also inevitable that there's a lot of teams that will be like, man, we should have taken Charbonnet when we had the opportunity. Teams way more needy at running back than our team. But what Seattle is doing is they're building depth, and not just like depth that can play, but star caliber depth. You know, injuries happen in the NFL. So I think what Pete and John are trying to do is make sure that the team can keep ticking at a really, really high level, regardless of who goes down at what position. And I really love that they're getting back to that. I like the tenacity that Charbonnet brings in the open field, as you see here. I really love this run. You know, he's not looking to go out of bounds there. He's looking to put his hand in somebody's chest. This is a great like kind of zone run there outside. He can do it all. And, you know, Cross and Lucas are just phenomenal players. And if we can get that interior push, like, you know, he had some good O-linemen there in UCLA with Gaines and all that, but he's not going to be taking a step back in terms of what he's running behind in this offense. He could just do it all. You look at all the different type of zone runs, power runs, read option. He just has the full complement in his book. I do believe he's way beyond a James Conner. I put him more at like a Matt Forte, Arian Foster level, if not as fast as those guys, but I think he is a stronger player than those guys, and I like that in the modern NFL because we can kind of grind teams down. You know, if we get out into big leads, he's not going to let up on you. If we want to give Ken a rest, we can give Zach the ball. He's going to move the ball into the red zone. I think for our style of play, he's the perfect fit.